to our sister, Mama Susan, Edith Matiba. Her precious children, Raymond, Susan, Julie, Ivy, Gitao, and the extended family for the loss of your husband, father, and also our brother Ken. This is a very sad day, not only for us, the Jindo family, but also for the entire country as a whole. We have lost a true national hero of our times who was a giant, a champion, and led by example, who united the family as he did the nation. And we believe we will continue to do so even in his passing. I hope that my few chosen words about our big brother will help reflect the person he was to many. After our father's passing in 1977, he took up his mantle and made sure that we as a family never lacked. And we were cared for in addition to his family. A selfless, hardworking individual who was always thinking of how to better lives, not just for our family, but for everyone around him. His efforts inspired us all to always better ourselves and to stay close and united as a family. As we lay our dear brother to rest, we thank God for his life and the years we shared with him, not forgetting the legacy he has left behind for the nation as well. A truly selfless, inspiring person and a hero to many. I would like to leave you with a quote by Shannon L. Alda. It simply says, "You carve your name on hearts, not tombstones. The legacy is etched into the minds of others and the stories they share about you." I'm happy to let our brother Matiba rest in peace, knowing that his legacy will live on. Kuganagweka, forward ever, backward never. Your famous motto should be the guiding spirit even for our leaders today. Rest in peace, brother. We celebrate your life. The Maitu Mukami's family.
It is impossible to capture in writing just how much impact Uncle Ken had in our lives. So this is truly an abridged account. Uncle Ken was our mother's closest sibling, though Auntie Julie, as everyone knew her, was always mindful of her other siblings. Our bonds were cemented when Auntie Edith was away pursuing studies in America. Uncle Ken, Susan, Raymond, Ivy, Julie, and I lived with my parents in a house on Cabernet Gardens. My father tells of how, as my cousins outnumbered me, I started calling Uncle Ken Dad, and I began calling my father Uncle. Mom was fiercely protective of Uncle Ken, and she was a staunch supporter, campaigning for him throughout his political career, when he ran for his seat as MP of what was then Mbiri. I will never forget her jubilation in 1979. She burst into the living room announcing that Uncle Ken had won, beating veteran politician Dr. Kiano. Our father was Uncle Ken's personal assistant of many years, a role he played diligently, especially as a voice of reason. My husband Peter told me when we first met that he had campaigned for my uncle in the 1992 elections. I thought that was rather a good measure of his judgment of character. When my parents adopted our sister Yogi, when we were in our teens, she immediately became a close member of our large extended family, with Uncle Ken giving her a position at Alliance Hotels when she graduated. We grew up with cousins as siblings, in part the result of my mother's bond with Uncle Ken, but mostly because Uncle Ken simply had a deep love of and derived immense joy from being surrounded by his family and friends. We have countless memories of holidays on the coast or at Naramora River Lodge. Our first ever trip to the Mara was with our cousins, in an entourage accompanying his good friend, the late President Juvenal Habyarimana and his family. I describe this only as one of many experiences that have molded us. Because of Uncle, I completed the 3-week Outward Bound course. I climbed Kilimanjaro. Uncle Ken knew it was a character-building experience. And I am sure our friends Ricky Kiplagat and Fred Michuki can attest to that, although Freddie broke his leg before the climb had even started. I went up Mount Kenya with Julian Gitao and Stanley, our uncle. Perhaps subconsciously, and influenced by my mother's love for cooking and our experiences at Alliance hotels. My sisters and I are today all in the hospitality industry, striving to excel as he had. Uncle Ken taught us all to value the integrity, industriousness, and humility that made him a wonderful uncle, an entrepreneur of note, and an honorable and distinguished statesman. He was generous and magnanimous. He was larger than life, and we will all miss his smiling face and the positive spirit he maintained throughout the difficult years that followed his detention. May his soul rest in everlasting peace.